Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here. You guys liked when I critiqued my first wedding that I ever shot. And I randomly went through my photos again and I found one of my first headshots I ever took. It was even for my photography class. So I wanted to break down kind of my transition from my first ever headshot portrait to how I do things now. So yeah, let's dive into that. Obviously I'm going to use Lightroom to show you this real quick and you'll see, and hopefully, it's a really big jump. Let's dive into this right now. So according to my metadata, this was shot in 2010. This is when I really got into photography. It was still earlier on in my college career. And yeah, so let's just dive into this. So this was the Nikon D3000. I think this was like 2 months before the D3100 came out. And I had nothing special. I think I was just using the kit lens that came with it, the 18 to 55 lens. So yeah, let's dive into it right now. Let's go to develop module. And here it is. The assignment was take a portrait. So this was before the Peter Hurley thing came out. This was before anything. So I framed it like this. And looking at how I shoot things now and how the whole Hurley style and everything came out and how headshots have really developed, it wasn't bad. I see that, it's not the most flattering. It was an on-camera flash and, you could see it right here. And when you use that, it's just a very blah type of light. There's no contrast. It's very flat. So you see there's nothing dynamic in this image whatsoever. Plus it is cropped way too tight. So I appreciate my older self for framing it like this instead of just having the person like dead center. That's great. But you'll see as I kind of moved on in my career and how I started to do things, about that. But, once again, you don't take photos like this. Think of a different composition like this. That's perfectly fine. What were the settings on this? Low ISO because it was very, whatever. It's kind of thrown off because I was using the on-camera flash anyway. Totally do things with separate lighting now. But 55 millimeters is not great anyway for a headshot. It doesn't grab the face the way it should. It distorts it a little bit. Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of move on from there. This is literally one of my first headshots that I ever intentionally took. Yeah, as I said, it was a building ground. So this was a couple years later, and this is when I really started to get into this more. This was after, the rise of more or less Peter Hurley and all the, and like Zach Arias and everything. You learn more about, background lighting and how things go on. So this was just a couple years ago, and this is my friend Christine. I don't know if you've seen her video before or something. And I was using my Nikon D, I think 7000 at the time that I had with my Nikon 70 to 200 2.8 version 1, which I had that lens earlier on. And I changed this up a little bit now, but the things that I got right were, lower ISO is perfectly fine. I was over, 100 millimeters. I typically like to shoot my portraits between 100 to 120 millimeters, somewhere in that range. The lower shutter speeds because I use continuous lighting to get on the face, as you see from the catch lights right here. I have, two 85-watt bulbs, 5500 Kelvin temperature, diffused by, diffusion. And this is at f4.5, so you get a little bit of fall off. And I like this image. I'm not a fan because this is when I was really starting to work with blowing out backgrounds with flashes and everything like that. And you can see it's not fully blown out. It's still a little bit gray. It may appear like this on the camera, but it's not bad. The pose is different. The thing I would change now is I would definitely open up the hair right here on the shoulder. So it's just something else to look at, something different. I would have the eyes do something a little more intense, but going from, something like this to this, it's almost night and day. No contrast, nothing, to, okay, you're getting a little bit of shadows on the side, you're getting things on. And I'm also noticing right now, though, that the lighting was a little too far up. You might kind of giving the raccoon eyes a little bit. So I was still messing around, and the light, if you kind of see, it's not consistent all the way around on the background. So I was getting there. I'm still not fully to where I want to be. There's still some things I want to go but I'm confident to where I come out. So once again, this is the first thing I ever took, just jumping into it, full frontal flash. This was giving more of a crap, actually, putting thought into it, putting thought into my settings and everything. And then we go into the most recent stuff. This is a friend of mine. She is in law. Yeah. And this is where we went full out. This was more of the, I guess, kind of intense-ish type of photo. But as you see, the background is definitely more evenly white. It's more evenly blown out. This was shot on my D700 with the same 70-200 2.8 lens. I don't know why I was at 98 millimeters. I guess I just liked the framing at the time. But once again, but then you see I was at 120 on the next one. But these are my settings. I use really, really shallow focus because I wanted, look at the fall off right here. I mean, you get everything in focus right here, but then just slightly, boom, the shoulder falls off. Everything falls off there. That's exactly the type of look you want to get. You want the focus to be on the person. As you see, going back to the catch lights, see how the catch lights are higher in the eye line? Right here, you see they are the eye line, and that's what you want to do. You want to evenly light someone when you're doing this. It's the same setup, but the lights are a little closer. As I said, it's a little brighter. The shutter speed's a little faster because I was able to control that, and I was able to blow the background out with 2 flashes on just a white background. I think that's before I even went to paper. So just this is what I went into. So how do you? Let's see. I don't use Lightroom much, so let's see how. How do you do this? Nope, that's not how you do it. There you go. This is the key example of just seeing literally where everything came from. I mean, it speaks for itself when you actually try, when you actually want to learn something, when you want to learn the settings. There's depth of field here. So this is really what I wanted to show you, just the kind of the progression that I've made going from something like this, not knowing anything, beginner camera, composition was semi there. The eyes aren't in focus. You got to watch out for that stuff. Even though I was at a 5.6, I was at 55. It was just, it wasn't in focus. I would never use that shot. But then you go on to something like this where it's different. You're trying more. There's contrast. There's thought in the lighting. There's thought in the background. There's thought in the settings that you're using, but then you get the intensity. And now I really want to I want to engage that here. There's kind of something going on. This is just straight look. This is more of a straight look, but then you get that intensity that you're looking for. So basically, this has been my progression since 2010, boom, till, now, 2014, 2013, whenever this was taken as well. So this is where I've come as well. Am I a master? Am I perfectionist at it? No, like I said, there's still things that I want to tweak. There's still things that I want to work on, different color, just things that I want to do differently. But also, it does, awesome when I had a makeup artist come on and really, really help things as well. So, once again, what is the progression you've known from yourself going from point A to point now? It's just something awesome. Thought you guys would want to see something like that because you guys enjoyed that wedding video that I did. And I'm going to show you a more recent one coming up when I get everything together. So, yeah, that's all I got. This is, where I started to where I am now in regards to headshots. There's still a lot more that I want to do before I'm perfect. Okay. That's all I got. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. You start somewhere and you keep on learning. You never perfect it. Have a good one.